Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we are now discussing MCQs on S.T Coleridge. So Samuel Taylor Coleridge, the poet of supernatural. So it is about him. Samuel Taylor Coleridge was born and died in 1772 was the year when he was born, and he died in 1832. Coleridge was born in Devon. Coleridge was famous for his huge, compelling eyes. What color were they? So his eyes were of gray color, and it was one of the most famous or important characteristic of his personality. Which of his creations also compelled the listeners? So it was his work, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. So just like his eyes, this poem also compelled people towards him. It was so catching and so beautiful a work by him. Coleridge married a girl called Sarah Fricker, who was married to her sister. So it was Robert Southey. So ये दोनों आपस में हमजुल्फ हुए. Where is Coleridge buried? So he's buried in London. In Christabel. So Christabel is a fragment by him. It is not a complete work. In Christabel, what does Christabel first sing is making the moaning sound she hears in the woods. So the answer is the oak tree. Because she hears someone moaning when she goes there. Who is Christabel's father in the poem Christabel? So it is Sir Leoline, who it happens to be her father. What time of day does Christabel begin? So the poem begins in midnight. Why does Christabel go into the woods so late at night? So it is her habit to go to pray for her distant fiancé. So इसलिए वो रात को जाती है वहां पे. Whom does Christabel find on the other side of the oak tree? So it is a pale woman clad in white. So a woman white dress के अंदर उसको नजर आती है जो कि pale color हो चुका है उसका because of the sufferings maybe, as she says that she was kidnapped. The woman she sees there is Geraldine, so that may be pronounced as Geraldine. So who left a Geraldine beneath the oak tree? So it was a band of rough men about whom she said that they kidnapped her. When did Christabel's mother die? She died the hour of Christabel's birth. As soon as she was born, in the same hour, her mother died. What does Christabel offer Geraldine? So she offers her her father's hospitality. Like she says that, come to me to my house, my father will look into the matter and he will handle those rogues who kidnapped you. Christabel is a very pampered lady. She's very pampered in a way that her father took great care of her, and both नाज से पाला उसको और क्योंकि इकलौती थी, so उसकी she was so much lovely kind of a girl जिसको बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार मिला, and she was not used to of working about the household work. She brings Geraldine to share her bed because she does not know to manage a room for her, to arrange things for her because she was pampered. Christabel does not know to treat a guest because Geraldine happens to be her guest, and it is the first time that she had some guest with like a personal guest in a way. Geraldine seems some kind of a witch or a vampire. So she does not seem a normal human being. It's because when she's going to Christabel's house, वहाँ पे बहुत सारे omens होते हैं, a dog starts barking, there's flame, and certain things happen जो कि लगता है कि she may not be a human. She puts a spell on poor innocent Christabel. तो Geraldine उस पे एक spell डाल देती है. What does she want from Christabel the next morning? So the business is introducing Geraldine to Sir Leoline. So she wants to be introduced to her father. Eyes mast high came floating by, as green as emerald. So this is completion of the line. So these are from Rime of the Ancient Mariner. What bird that flew overhead was considered a good omen by the mariner and his crew? So it was an albatross. So albatross was a kind of a huge seagull. In what direction was the ship sailing before the bird of good omen arrived? So they were sailing towards south. It was suspected that the bird of good omen was actually the reason for the fog and the mist. What consequence did the bird suffer because of this? So it is because that mariner shot the bird with his crossbow, and it brought more curse, rather ending it. What type of these events happened at the rising of the moon? So the mariners' shipmates dropped down dead one by one. So ऐसा करके एक करके उसके shipmates मरना शुरू हो गए. So the curse was started. How many people in the end came to rescue the mariner? So there were 3 people who came to rescue him. Shortly after mariner was rescued, his ship sank like dash into the sea. So it was just like lead, एक तांबे की तरह पानी में बह गया. Completion of line. So water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. ये जब समुद्र के बीच में होता है उसे बहुत प्यास लगी होती है, लेकिन वो समुद्र का salty water नहीं पी सकता. What is the mariner supposed to teach by his own example? So he wants to tell that God loves all that he has created and made. What strange thing did the mariner see when he was there among the curse? So he saw life in death, and death in life, and life in death. So these two were playing, and afterwards life in death wins, and then he's left alone among all the dead crew members. Rime means it is a frost formed on cold objects by the rapid freezing of water vapor in cloud or fog. So it is all about that fog which was there, which they mistook that it was brought by the albatross. The first volume of lyrical ballads was without a preface. उसमें preface नहीं था. Lyrical ballads are focused on poetic diction. Poetic diction was like artificial poetic diction was famous in that age. जो artificial kind of language थी वो तब चल रही थी. So Coleridge was all the time there to help Wordsworth in this writing of Preface and the lyrical ballad. Rustic life is nobler as it is connected with nature. So to Wordsworth and Coleridge, rustic life was more nobler because it was having the essence of nature in it. Lyrical ballads use common people as subjects. Feelings are more important than actions for Wordsworth and Coleridge. Like they believed in the value of feelings. The poetic composition, according to them, takes place in 4 stages. Wordsworth proves that the real thing in poetry is feeling not the language. So it is not the language, it is rather feeling which is more important. So they focused on feelings. Wordsworth justifies the use of meter and condemns the use of poetic diction. Because in those times or before them, एक ओवरली यूज होता था, आर्टिफिशियल यूज होता था पोएटिक डिक्शन का, बड़ा बना सवार के लोग लिखते थे और देखने में ही वो आर्टिफिशियल लगता था. दीज पीपल केम विद writing them in clear manner and a manner near to the common people. Lyrical ballads, they were written in 1798, like that collection. So the book begins with Rime of the Ancient Mariner and ends with lines written a few miles above Tintern Abbey. So this is by Wordsworth, and Rime of the Ancient Mariner was by Coleridge. So Coleridge, with Coleridge's poem, it is opening, and by Wordsworth's poem, it is closing. Kubla Khan was written in 1798, but published in 1816. Who wrote the book Coleridge read that inspired the poem? So Coleridge was reading The Pilgrimage of Samuel Purchas, where the author described the player dome the great Khan built. So Kubla Khan built a dome on which a book was written, and he was reading that book, and that book inspired Coleridge to write a poem. And where did he get the visions he founded his poems on? So कहाँ से उसके पास ये visions आए सारे? It is said that he was heavy opium user, और उस वक्त वो उस के intoxication में था ये किताब पढ़ने के बाद. So Xanadu was the place where Kubla Khan built his dome. What is the sacred river where it was built? So it was River Alf. What was the outstanding feature of the property? उस Kubla Khan की जो area था property उसका outstanding feature. So it was a fountain in a chas. So एक बहुत बड़ा खला था जिसके अंदर एक fountain गिर रहा था. So these were from S.T Coleridge.